thankful, dear devotees. Thankful to you all because we could all gather together and then hear from the sadhus. You know, I'm just reminded of the shloka in Bhagavad Gita. I think it's the 6th chapter. When, there the description is about yogi. Yogi is a general term, Bhakti Yogi, Jnana Yogi, or Ashtanga Yogi. So a yogi, when that yogi does the sadhana, and it is the strength of the sadhana that carries him over. I am recalling that shloka because it is the bhakti practices that are given to us, that are given to us to be practiced every day. And every day is different for us. Every day is different, and in just one day only, it is so different from moment to moment too. Like that. So, but because a devotee practices, even if it is an external practice, it still needs discipline. Even if it has to be done externally, it still needs discipline. So because a devotee practices this, sadhana is practice, right? So practices this devotion, this bhakti practices on a regular basis, a devotee acquires a momentum, the strength, a velocity, a momentum, strength that takes us in bhakti, further in bhakti. Though we are going through so much purification inside, the ups and downs, but still the strength of that sadhana, bhakti, carries us over. For some reason, I am reminded of that shloka now. And coming to this, yes, Mataji, anything in specific that you were asking, or kuch, or just
nothing in specific, Mataji. I thought yesterday we paused because there were more to say, but because of time we paused there. So if there is,
forgot where I paused yesterday. I'm trying to recall. Oh yeah, that this bhava rati is too far, that the seed is just germinating, Henna? Yeah, I think that's what was mentioned yesterday. Yeah, so that's our reality in Anartha Nivritti. Here the glory of the Harinama, and this is very wonderful when we are hearing from the Mahajanas. This is the glory of the Harinama. So in the stage of bhava, it is bud, and in the stage of prema, it blossoms into flower. It is said that Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Now we are in Anartha Nivritti. So in Anartha Nivritti, what is happening is we are trying to stabilize ourselves in the Nama. As the mind goes here and there, somehow or other, the stability is being established gradually with the Nama. And Nishta is a stage where steadiness is there. So when we are chanting the japa, when we are doing the Nama, or even Seva too, Nama or Seva, there is steadiness that is established. Same, very similar to this driving, dear devotees. See, if when we are learning driving, immediately once when we sit in the car seat, the driver's seat, when we sit in the driver's seat, the very first time we just don't turn on the engine and then just get onto the freeway and drive there at 70 safely. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Same with the bhakti also. Valet driving, when we learn, we don't even go to the neighborhood lanes. We just try it in the parking lot like that. Try to get a hang of how to drive the car and where is the gas, where is the brake, if it is operated by gears kya hai, kaun si gear hai, which gear is to be put in. So just to know the car itself and to get a hang of how to drive, that itself takes time. That happens in the parking lot, and slowly we come to the neighborhood and then the local roads like that. So all that is the anardhanavritti stage, where the trial and error happens, and where we and the other example is the walking one, when when the baby is just trying to stand. Just trying to stand. Standing itself is a lot. First time standing, they just don't stand and walk. They stand and they fall. And the standing itself is not stable, Pele. And forget about walking stably. So these are the initial stages. Initial stages. And this is what when we mention the seed is germinating within to get the roots inside, and to get rooted inside, and then the sprouts comes up gradually like that. So all this germinating phase, everything is getting grounded. All that is to come to a stable platform in our thought. That is a nishtha. Nishtha means steadiness. So somehow or other, when we are able to carry on our practices regularly, bhakti practices regularly, that's one. And somehow or other, if we are able to continue in servitude mood, in the mood of service throughout the day, throughout the day, though there is not a great attachment, but somehow or other, if we are when we are gradually gradually come to that platform of steadiness in the mood of servitude, that is the stage of nishtha. And the same thing reflects in the nama also. When that steadiness is being established within, then when we are doing the harinama also, the mind doesn't go too much here and there. It is with the nama for most part of the time, like that. So that's steadiness. And by that time, a devotee will have most of the qualities of goodness, the sattva. Sattva is about steadiness again, right? And again, when we say steadiness, dear devotees, it's not a static equilibrium. It's not like a straight line. Nishtha is not like a straight line. There will be ups and downs, but when you take an average of that little ups and downs, there will be a straight line like that. So it's not a static equilibrium, it's a dynamic equilibrium. In other words, we may not feel so enthused, and we may sometimes feel discouraged, depressed, like that. So those moments will come. That time will also be there during the course of the day. But still, we will be able to pick ourselves up and get attached to the service that is given to us, catch hold of the service that is given to us. So we will be able to pick up ourselves during the day. So in that way, somehow or other, the ups and downs are not too conspicuous. So like that is the stage of steadiness. And by that time, the qualities, these qualities like, because we will have the patience, and because we will have the tolerance, and because we want to be grateful, all these qualities of goodness, they come into action and help us to be steady. So by this time, the devotee has these qualities of goodness. And the japa also is more smoother than fight, than fighting with the mind and getting tired with the mind. By that time, the japa is more smoother. Like that. That is the mode of, that is the nishta. And past nishta is ruchi. Ruchi is a state. All these stages, dear devotees, stages of bhakti, that is our internal state of consciousness, which reflects during our japa, during our interactions, during, which speaks about in the form of the qualities that we have, all that. So this state of consciousness inside reflects not only in japa, but throughout. Throughout, with the interactions, with the seva, how steady is somebody with seva, how steady is somebody with the interactions, how steady somebody is with the qualities of goodness. All that, they go together. At that stage, then a person would be more steady with the nama also. That is the stage of nishta. And ruchi is, there is not too much of struggle. There is they want to do the service, they want to do the nama, they want to be with the devotees. So there is taste. Ruchi is taste, and they have taste about everything in devotion, like that. So from then on, it is said that it is more easy. Bhakti is more susukam kartum avyayam, more of it from then on. Ruchi, asakti, like that. And in the stage of asakti, one would have abhasa of the siddha deha. In other words, they would get a little glimpse of what their spiritual body is. Again, the spiritual bodies are made of rasas. So that is at the stage of asakti, and after that is the bhava or rati. And this is the description that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura is giving at the stage of rati or bhava. This is considered to be the bud. It is a bud and almost ready to fully blossom, which is prema. So that is what the Acharya is describing here. And we also have heard about where we are right now and what to expect. Yeah. So if okay with you, I can pause here and see if you have any questions or anything in discussion. And the recording part, if it is helpful, useful for you, we can keep it there. Otherwise, we can pause, whatever you like, dear devotees. So quiet is, are you there, dear devotees?
Thank you, Mataji, for I was thinking even yesterday only, because I am not sure about others, but I think I was very confused. I think because there we are hearing all this thing, right? And we are thinking,
Yeah.
oh, are we at the birth stage? Are
Oh,
why we are,
Mataji,
why
sorry.
when are we gonna hear like blossom into? I thought I felt a lot of relief yesterday when you said no. That is where, and I thought, okay, yeah, this sounds more like me.
More like me too. Yeah,
So
we are in
thank you
the
for
seed
clarifying that.
sprouting. Yeah. Yes.
Because I could not personally, I could not understand that
Yeah.
that this is
A huge sign of relief, huh? Here the
yes, ma'am.
description of bud is going on. I don't feel anything. ये क्या हो रहा है? No. We are in the seed germinating now. Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So, what are the phases before even germinating, Mataji?
Well, the seed is given though. The seed, Bhakti Lata Bija is given. So, yeah, the phases before germinating is if it's a dry soil, it hasn't germinated yet. If the soil is wet with the Krishna Katha and the Nama, and if the soil is not too barren and if it has some fertility in it, then the germination starts. But the seed is given though, so it is in the soil. It is in the soil.
So, when do we know or how do we recognize it started germinating, Mataji?
You know, when we're trying to, the fact that we are able to do the japa every day, whatever the quality it might be, and the fact we hear the katha, we are putting effort to hear the katha. How much it is going inside, even that is a different thing, and how much change is happening within us is a different thing. But the fact that one is able to do these bhakti practices regularly means they are trying to develop the roots. Yeah. So it means if a seed is trying to develop the root, means the water of Krishna Katha Nama is going on, and that's how it is trying to develop the roots. So, yeah.
Got you, Mataji. So at least we are watering the Bhakti Lata regularly. So the roots are growing and becoming stronger.
Yes, yeah. May not be happening anything outside. Nothing is apparent on the ground yet. No sprout yet. But the roots are growing. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. It's really a big relief, Mataji.
Oh yes, huge relief to know. Huge relief to know the reality, Prabhu. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
With your permission, can I say one thing, Mataji?
Yes, please.
And this is from Gaurang Darshan, Prabhu. I am just repeating it.
Right.
I really like it. So it is said that however much we water our Bhakti Lata Bij, watering means hearing and chanting, if the soil is not fertile, the bij will not germinate. And we making soil fertile means that we are trying to have Vaishnav qualities of patience, compassion, Pranadapi Shunichena, the whole thing, humility. If those qualities we are not trying to cultivate, however much we listen or chant, the seed will not germinate. So I could see what is going on in our WDC and what we are trying to do and how it is relevant to me to go further, to have that Bhaktilata be germinated there. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Mataji. Yeah. Yeah. When when the bhakti that is being given to us by Srila Prabhupada, by Acharyas, is such a pure devotional one, pure bhakti, and somebody who is having deep faith in it and embracing the process with a great faith and enthusiasm, then these qualities would automatically come. That's the other dimension. Prahlad Maharaj and Narada Muni also said that. Yasya asti bhakter bhagavati akinchana tatrair gunair samasate suraganaha. So in there, the Narada Muni and also Prahlad, they are saying that wherever there is akinchana bhakti, and as Srila Prabhupada says, Krishner matir astu, when that is there, when Krishner matir astu, then it means sattva is already there. This is past sattva. Krishner matir astu, like that. So when somebody can take the teachings with such faith and such submission, then they will be able to see the result. They will be able to see the result. As Srila Prabhupada said, how long would it take for somebody to surrender? And Prabhupada said, what? 1 moment? Like that, right? So that is also there. Actually, that is the kind of bhakti that we are being given in Srila Prabhupada purports and acharyas and the bhajans everywhere. And just that, most of us, we are struggling sadhakas and don't have that much of faith and submission in the beginning. And this is not unusual. This is also there. And that's why the last 3 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is there, to see how one should try to come to sattva. One can voluntarily desire and put effort to come to sattva and all the qualities of sattva, as you just mentioned. When the qualities of sattva are there, then again the mind becomes steady, and that's why when we hear and whenever the Krishna Katha or Nama, whatever we are doing, it will have its effect, because sattva creates that steadiness. So fertile soil is acquiring the qualities of sattva. There we can strive to cultivate those qualities. That is something there in our hands. Like the ladder that we speak, these are the lower steps that we can try to climb. And if and when somebody has the deep faith and submission, then for them it's just natural of them. It's not, when it is not natural of us yet, yes, then we try to cultivate this. Yes, Mataji, both sides. There are some fortunate souls who have that great submission and faith, and for them sattva is like a byproduct that is also there. So we hear all this perspective, but we know well where we are, and we try to make our way to what is being said. Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. My pranams to you.
Pranams to you, Prabhu.
Mataji, you talked about faith. So I was just wondering, it seems, at least for me, even though you may be listening, doing whatever is needed, it's not budging. The faith, I mean, either it's moving too slow that you don't see it. So I'm just curious, Any thoughts or comments around that
Regarding the
part of...
faith, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Like,
Yeah, faith, Prabhu, this is so much to do. See, as long as we are in another nivritti, it by default means our faith is not strong, Prabhu. Faith gets steady when we are not struggling with bhakti and we are more steady in bhakti. That's when the faith is also getting steady. Everything gets steady there. So at this time, it's more of the effort, sincere effort, and cultivating these qualities that can help us.
What
The
do you
faith,
cultivate, Mataji? Like what I'm trying to your statement, I'm trying to understand. Cultivating faith, I was wondering, like, can you cultivate faith?
No, Prabhu, not cultivating faith. Faith has to naturally come over a period of time, strengthen within. That is not with cultivation. Faith is not cultivation. But the patience, tolerance, those things can be cultivated. When we know we are angry, then we can say ourselves, okay, I will pause and then I'll try to be patient. So those sattvic qualities can be cultivated with determination. But faith is not a cultivated one. Faith or emotion is not a cultivated one. They are natural and they have to happen from within. Yes, Prabhu.
So what can budge us from, I don't know, if I'm at 0.01%, what can budge me to higher? I mean, like it's not, it's difficult to, unless it comes naturally from inside, like you said, Mataji.
Yeah. Regarding the faith, Prabhu, are you talking about faith?
Yes, ma'am.
Faith is to be given, Prabhu. It is to be given. It can only be received when we are showing our persistent interest in bhakti day after day, and despite the challenges, then we are attracting the mercy. Then also, especially this can be perceived more when a devotee is dedicated to a particular service, Prabhu. So when a devotee, so bhakti is actually more to do with the service initially. Otherwise, what kind of nama can we do? Where mind doesn't really stay in a place. It is more to do with the service initially, service to the pure devotee. Yes, service to the pure devotee through the Vani, but service to pure devotee with Vani means it has to manifest outside as some physical action on a regular basis. That's why external seva also is included. So without external seva, especially in anartha nivritti, it is all phantasmagoria. We can get nowhere. We can get nowhere because we are holding to the Vani of the Acharyas. But the Vani is meant to motivate us, inspire us to do some seva. So the faith, how the faith is strengthened is like this. We hear about Krishna Katha, we hear about Krishna and we do the Harinama. But when it comes to the seva, when a devotee takes up the seva, taking up and committed to do a seva, this point of commitment, that makes a difference. Otherwise, nothing much happens in Bhakti, Prabhu. Nothing tangible, substantial will happen and sit within us for us to feel or for us to stand. So seva, when they take up a seva, then when they're committed and take up a seva, to do that particular seva regularly is not easy. But if a devotee is committed to do that seva, the obstacles that come when they perform that seva, and when the devotee is determined to continue the seva in spite of the obstacles, that's where the faith gets built, Prabhu. That's where the realizations come. Whatever was said in Bhagavad Gita, Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapatyante. They are slokas. We hear them. That's all. But when can they be perceived? When the challenges come, and when we go on with determination in the service in spite of the challenges. Then the realizations come, then the faith gets deepened, Prabhu. This is how the faith gets deepened, especially I'm trying to recall, what Srila Prabhupada said and what His Holiness Haladhar Maharaj was saying. So this is in lines with those teachings, yes, especially with the seva. That's when the realizations come, that's when the faith comes. Without a committed seva externally, there is the realizations that come, they don't stand for a long time. They come, they go. Nothing substantial happens. Yeah, so faith is deepened there, realizations comes then. And that's how a devotee gets to a steady state also, Nishtha. Because when we see, when we take up some seva, Prabhu, when there are again two things, sevas. There are certain, in one way, the seva that is given. When we don't really see any specific seva given to me, yes, then we do the seva, whatever is available to us. But the thing is, the commitment to a seva and determination to do the seva brings so many changes within us. Of course, the faith deepens and the realizations come, because for us to do a seva, it is to do with our mind. It is to do with the devotees around. We have to navigate through with these two, both with the mind, the challenges that come from within, and the excuses that come from within, especially the mind, and whatever the intelligence has to say, and also with the devotees outside too. So this is like polishing that happens. Remember the other day we were talking about the concrete stones when they are put and then shaken in a closed space. Then those stones become smoothened. How do that happen? It is like this. When we do the seva with the Vaishnavas, then to continue that seva with determination, the mind and intelligence, they will have to get disciplined. Otherwise, the seva will not go on with determination. It will not go on. And again, especially when it has to do with the devotees around, lot of changes will need to happen within us. We have to get to the sattva. Otherwise, the friction between the interactions and going on with the services for a long time will not be possible. So that is where most of the molding happens. And that is when the faith gets deepened. And that is when the realization comes. And only then we can get to the stage of steadiness. Without that rigorous molding, that compels discipline from within on the mind and intelligence, and that mandates the discipline that we need with the interactions around with the devotees. Without this rigorous molding, we will not be able to get to the steady state of bhakti. It means we will not be able to come to chanting nama steadily. Forget about rupa guna lila, even with the nama also. That does not happen without this rigorous molding from within and outside. So when to expect deepening in the faith, when to expect steadiness after this rigorous molding from within and polishing from outside, Prabhu. Which means very good. Which means we are forced to be in goodness, and we will come to goodness, which is steadiness. Yeah, that's what to expect, even in bhakti or in faith or in japa.
Thank you so much for clarifying
Thank you.
providing guidance.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your question, Prabhu. Yeah. After the bruising and bleeding, the healing happens. After the healing happens, the skin, new skin comes, regenerates, and new skin comes. So, yeah.
Yes, Mother.
Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. But this is the reality, and it's our choice of how to look at the reality. Okay, at least the seed is given, and it is in the ground, and we are having this opportunity to water the seed from the sadhu and shastra. And so this is all very wonderful. And yes, I want to be patient. And yes, I want to be peaceful. Yes, I want to be grateful. Yes, I want to be tolerant. Not that, oh, I am forced to be. And then bahut mushkil ho jayega. That is, the reality is the same. But how am I choosing to look at it? Do I have to do it? That is a combination of, the ignorance and passion coming. And then, yeah, I've done it. Oh, did I just lose it? Oh, I am feeling so discouraged now. Do I have to get up again? Yes, sir. Ignorance, passion में, all the efforts in that, from that perspective, is is with ignorance and passion. Hai? So we have to make the journey anyway. Reality is here like this. How can this journey be smooth? How can this journey be pleasant as much as possible? And how can journey be as easy as possible? It is, yes, I welcome this, and being grateful and being hopeful. So the perspective, Prabhu, the reality is the same as we have heard, but what perspective am I choosing? I have a choice to look at the glass half empty or half full. So our perspective, I want to see it as half full, and it will gradually get full. I just have to do a little bit at a time to the best of my capacity and just be grateful. So the perspective, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, it's 9:07. Yeah, past time. So, yes, and then just winding down. So we have heard about the whole path of bhakti, about we have had the seed, we are in the ground, and the roots are growing to get grounded. And yes, this is the reality, and we are hopeful, and we'll take one day at a time with all gratitude, and prayerfully we take one step at a time. Yeah. So that's winding down. Is that okay? Shall we pause here? Hari Hari, Mataji. Yes.
Mataji, I know we are on the time. I have a question. Can I still state the question and it can be answered later, whenever? So you talked about, Mataji, I want to hear about that one more time. Maybe I didn't get it properly. That cultivation of these quality is easier with submission and something else you said. I would like to understand it more.
Yeah. Sure. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay, Mataji. Yeah.
Noted. Question noted. Yes. Maybe sometime during the morning prayer, or tomorrow is what? Thursday. Yeah. So during the morning prayer tomorrow, or in the evening tomorrow, we'll answer that.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Hari